YouTube, Blount County, Alabama, Jay Brooks, FightDHR.com. Hey, I'm out here, got the laptop set up, fixing to finish this video. Pamela Casey and Sue Ashworth, rest of them civil rights attorneys. That's real nice. Yeah, it's real sweet what y'all did to them lawyers like that. I said the same thing 6 months ago. I don't get it. Seems like you're just out to ruin our county. Look at that. It's just sickening. I wasn't even going to be in this video. I figured that would be cowardly of me. How you like me now, Mr. Hicks? How you like me, sir? Yeah, this is Pamela Casey's going to be the one, prosecuting you. So good luck with that. Here we go. I wasn't even going to be in this video, but here I am. Jay Brooks, FightDHR.com.
Were charged up in Blount County with a refusal to permit inspection and obstruction of governmental operations. The charges came as a result of them refusing to consent to an unlawful search. They were presented with a search warrant, a valid search warrant, I will say, that allowed for the search of their client's person and their client's property. The law enforcement agency involved wanted to search their persons and their property, the lawyer's property. They refused and they were placed under arrest. After being placed under arrest, they were handcuffed and stood outside in the cold in February for over an hour in handcuffs as people came and went out of the courthouse. Today, they finally got their day in court. They got their say, and justice was served. Justice was done. Judgment of a motion of acquittal that we filed shortly after the state closed their case was granted by the judge, and the case is ended. Mr. Rebel has a couple of statements.
I just believe it's better to live 50 years as a lion than 100 years as a chicken. On February 23rd, 2017, I stood for my client. I stood for his rights. I stood for my rights. Attorney Garcia did the same. And we were persecuted for doing that. We were persecuted for doing our job. It's a shame in this country, in this state, that you have overzealous prosecutors, overzealous law enforcement officers that are willing to violate someone's rights by any means necessary to achieve their end. We was in court today, and the prosecutors are arguing that I have, as an attorney, I have less rights than someone else. And it's a shameful situation. When this situation occurred, my wife was 9 months pregnant with our unborn child. And now my child just turned a year old just last week. And we had to go through this. But, I'm thankful for great attorneys right here, Stan Glasscock and Clayton Tart. They're outstanding counsel. And I'm thankful for the work they put in. I'm thankful for the judge, Judge King, who's an outstanding judge. And I'm thankful that justice prevailed, because this is a system I believe in.
I know Megan couldn't. Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Megan, right? She couldn't be here, and we were just told that she had only been on the job for about 5 months.
That's
Talk
correct.
about her having to go through that.
I had the honor of representing Megan. It was tough. Imagining, if you will, you've worked your entire life to be a lawyer. You get that law license, and you're on your first case, and you find yourself outside of a courthouse that you've never been to, in a county that you've never been to, in the middle of February with cold steel handcuffs on your hand because of merely saying no to an illegal request to conduct an illegal search of your body, your person. Literally, your career is flashing before you. You're thinking to yourself, was it worth it? Was all the sacrifice, the pain, the money that I spent to become a lawyer, is it going to go away? Will I cease being a lawyer before I'm really ever a lawyer? I would say that has been Megan Garcia's life for the past year. And y'all have no doubt, this case and this injustice that was almost perpetrated on my client and Victor originated in one office, the office of the District Attorney of Blount County, Miss Pamela Casey. Because it came out in court today that she was on the phone with the detective instructing the detective to arrest Megan and Victor Rebel.
One thing I want to add with that, I'm a licensed attorney. I'm a criminal defense attorney here in Birmingham, a civil rights attorney. If the district attorney of Blount County, Pamela Casey, if she's willing to do that to me and arrest me without any probable cause, without any justification, I feel sorry for those people who are not attorneys, who don't know their legal rights, because those people may just plead guilty. I'm thankful to my God that He gave me the education He gave me. That I'm thankful to God for allowing me to be able to go to good attorneys that are willing to fight for me. But everybody doesn't know all the rules. Everybody don't know they have a fighting chance. And I just feel sorry for some of the if Pamela Casey is doing some of the other citizens of Blount County as she did me, that's a shame. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Yes.
You were talking to your client for 20 minutes or so. What led up to this arrest?
We had a protection from abuse hearing that we was representing our client on. Our client was not charged with any criminal charge. It was a civil matter. We asked our client for his cell phones because we needed it for his representation in the PFA case. We go outside of the court, right outside the courthouse, maybe 10 steps. And law enforcement walks up to my client and says, hey, we have a search warrant. We're about to execute that search warrant now for you and your vehicle. Me and Attorney Garcia, we are right there. So we're like, hey, can we see the search warrant? We see the search warrant. The search warrant authorized them to search our client's person and his vehicle for cell phones. And so we told our client, yeah, go ahead and comply with that. Well, they said, well, we need the cell phones that your associate has in the bag right here. And I said, well, your search warrant authorized you to search my client's person and his vehicle. You're not entitled to search us. And so we lawfully refused to consent to a warrantless search of our person. Moments later, we were arrested.
So who instructed the deputies to record? Because I got video and they have video as well of you all standing outside of the courthouse. Who decided to record that video?
That wasn't clear from the evidence today. That was a question that we asked the lead investigator on the stand, and she quibbled with it a little bit. It was Aniana Police Department that did make the recording, but I don't think it came out whoever instructed
It was a body
ordered it.
cam being worn by an Aniana City police officer that had been called to come to the courthouse. I don't know if they were there to assist in crowd control or assist in the execution of the search warrant.
Thank God they were there.
But exactly.
Thank God they were there, and there was a recording of what happened. Because you listen to the investigator's story and what she portrayed that happened out there that day, you look at her affidavits that she signed in this case, and it's completely inconsistent with what that recording shows.
The recording shows her on the phone, and she, the investigator, confirmed today that she was on the phone with the district attorney of Blount County, Pamela Casey, looking to her for advice as to whether or not to arrest Victor and Megan. And the testimony was that Ms. Casey said, yes, arrest them. And so that's what Ms. Ashworth did.
And I think another point is that we got to look at is what would have happened if the camera wasn't rolling. If the camera wasn't rolling, then we would have to live with the lies that Sue Ashworth told when she wrote her report, when she wrote a complaint against me to the state. Live with her version of events if there was no camera. Thank God there was a camera.
And in fact, the state tried to keep the evidence out. They didn't want to play the recording. We had to introduce the recording into evidence and argue for it to be played. They said it wasn't relevant to the trial today. A recording of the commission of the alleged crime wasn't relevant in the trial for that crime. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
Right. Normally, a prosecutor's jumping up and down with their hair on fire to get into evidence a video that shows the actual alleged crime taking place. And here we had them running away from that video like it was radioactive.
Just talk about the importance of having this, the body cam footage, because it seems like a lot of people, not only in Alabama, but across the country, are having issues with body cam footage. And body cams not working during the entirety of the incident. Just talk about the importance of having that and having it home and actually rolling.
I guess it depends on the facts of your case. As a criminal defense attorney, I've gotten body cam footage that I didn't particularly like. They show what the state alleged happened. In this particular case, though, as soon as I saw the footage, I knew it was a winner. Like I said a minute ago, thank God for the tape. It would have been a much different case without the body cam. It certainly protected not only Victor's rights in this case and his interest and Megan's interest, but also I think in the public's interest in this case to see justice being done. I said it before that this entire case was almost a vindication of the justice system, had it not been for the unlawful arrest. After that point, the justice system did its job, but for the unlawful arrest, it would have been perfect.
Imagine that you've hired a lawyer and you're walking out of the courthouse with your lawyer, and the next thing you know, your lawyer gets arrested. And they got arrested because they're sitting there defending you, doing their job, doing what you hired them to do.
And I would imagine you've done this in the past.
I've got arrested before.
I mean, just
Yeah. I've represented countless clients, hundreds, maybe thousands of clients. There's nothing new for me to walk in the courtroom. It's not scary to walk in the courtroom. The courtroom is where I'm at a lot. I'm in court usually 4 to 5 days a week, so it's not uncommon to walk into a courtroom. But it was definitely uncommon, and it was definitely, butterflies, angst. You feel that when you are a defendant in a criminal case, when you have the possibility of going to jail or being incarcerated for something you didn't do, that's different. And the statement about the video rolling, there are countless situations where the video isn't rolling. And so what we are left with is an officer's account of what happened. Now, there are several great officers in Blount County, in the state of Alabama, and across this country. So it is not to negate the great work that they do on a day-to-day basis and they risk their lives. But it's the few bad cops that make everyone look bad. And that's what we had here. We had a bad cop who was Sue Ashworth, who was an investigator, and we had a bad DA, Pamela Casey, who said arrest them. Because you can hear on the video, Sue Ashworth is on the phone saying, do what? Do what? Say what? And then she said, you all are under arrest. That's when things go on.
So your motion for acquittal was granted. So what's the next? I mean, is this?
We go home and celebrate.
Yeah.
Victor goes home to his baby.
I go home to my baby. I go home to my wife. But also, there will be an accounting of the situation. Because when you wrongfully arrest a lawyer, when you wrongfully arrest a civil rights lawyer, you know what's next. You're going to get sued. The Pamela case is going to get sued, along with others that wronged myself and Attorney Garcia in this situation. Suing people, it's the right or wrong. It's to compensate. It's also, I think, to teach a lesson. You can't just do people any kind of way and think you're going to get away with it. You cannot just roll over someone's rights and think it's okay, especially when that person knows better, especially when Pamela Casey knew better, especially when the investigator Sue Ashworth knew better. And I know better to allow this to happen, because I tell my clients this all the time. Stand up for yourself. If you've been wronged, if you've been wrongfully arrested, then after we win your criminal case, then we will sue those people that were unjust. We will sue those people that wronged you. And in this situation, that is exactly what I plan to do.
Did Pamela Casey personally do this case?
She was the district attorney of record when the arrest was made. Shortly thereafter, I don't remember the time frame, we were informed that she would be recusing herself from the case because she was a potential witness, a fact witness in the case, which was entirely appropriate for her to do. Normally what happens when an attorney is recused from a case or gets off a case, they withdraw formally with the court through the aliquot system. That never happened here. So technically she has been an attorney of record for the entirety of this case. There were 2 special prosecutors that were appointed to actually try the case. She was not in the courtroom today, but we did hear some information and got some evidence from a witness that she was involved in talking to a witness as recently as March 16th. So we believe she has been involved all the way up until this morning.
Has she issued an apology?
No, I wish she would.
Are pigs flying in hell?
I doubt that she will. I hope that she will. You know, I try to look at the best in people. If Pamela Case, if you're watching, you should apologize. You wronged me. You wronged Attorney Garcia. It wasn't right what you did. But I forgive you.
We asked her initially in our first press release and a motion to dismiss to do the right thing, that it was clear to us under the law that they were not guilty and that there's no way that she could prove her case. Specifically, with one of the charges, it required physical force, intimidation, some overt act of him grabbing, pushing, yelling, threatening law enforcement. Watch the video. He stands there and says no. There's no way she could have proved the case. We asked her then to dismiss the case and do the right thing. Here we are almost a year and a half later, spent countless hours prepping for this trial, getting ready for it, and having to go through a full day trial with a judge. She could have done the right thing a year and a half ago and didn't.
Okay. All right.
I do have one question from any questions asked by you speak. Can you elaborate on your plans to go after the district attorney about this?
I don't have any plans on going after the district attorney. I think my client has indicated he may pursue civil remedies.
Oh, absolutely. Under 42 U.S.C. 1983, you can sue those that act under the color of law that violate your rights. And I plan to sue Pamela Casey along with others. Also, I plan to sue her for defamation because there were some statements that she made that were false, and I believe she knew them they were false when she made them, and she had no evidence to the contrary. So I plan to go after her and others because I think it's what I should be doing, because it's what I preach to my clients. That's why there was no deal taken here. Yes, I was offered a deal to dismiss this case if I would agree not to sue. But no.
And write a letter.
And they wanted me to write a letter to apologize. No. I tell my clients to stand on their feet. I believe that you should live 50 years as a lion as opposed to 100 years as a chicken. I wasn't going to be a chicken in this situation, so I was going to practice what I preach. I told my clients stay on their feet, fight for themselves, believe in this system. And so I did that. And then I tell my clients, once you do that, once you fought the good fight and you won, then you go after them. Then you sue them. So that this does not happen to another person. You teach that person a lesson that this is not right. You don't do this in America. You don't do this in Alabama. And that's what I plan to do in this situation.
Does your client, does she have any plans like that?
I can't speak to that. I don't do 1983 work, civil rights work, so it would be speculation on my part for me to speak as to that. I'm sorry.
Let me get both of your names, please.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Clayton Tart.
Okay.
Stan Glasscock.
Okay.
Give us your name just because people keep asking on the live feed.
My name is Vic Terrell, and I'm proud to be an attorney.